All right, so we are going to break down all 11, at least that's what I have, is 11 leaked images from Godzilla x Kong the New Empire, the most insane Godzilla leak ever to hit the internet, honestly. It's interesting because I went ahead and put a poll out on my channel about 6 hours ago, asking if you guys think these Godzilla x Kong leaks are intentional from Warner Brothers to keep building the hype, or if you actually think that Warner Brothers wouldn't really do that. It has 223 votes, which isn't a ton, but 78% of you guys said yes, the hype is crazy right now, and 22% said no, they wouldn't do that. So it's kind of interesting. It seems like a lot of people agree with me. I'm kind of in the line of thinking that Warner Brothers actually did this intentionally to build the hype. I think they released all of these leaks to build up the hype. I think they know exactly what they're doing. I think a lot of leaks that come out intentionally come from the movie studios just to build hype. I think that's very much the case here. This is the biggest Godzilla leak that I have ever seen hit the internet. We're going to break down all 11 images. If you guys enjoy my Monsterverse content, then consider subscribing. Yeah, let's talk about these images.
The Atomic Fair.
Alright, man, so I gotta do this a little differently, guys. I can't do this the way that I usually do. I cannot show these images right now because I have a pending copyright strikes on my channel. I just have one, but I don't want to have any on my channel, and I definitely think if I post these images, I am going to end up getting a copyright strike. It says property of Legendary on every single one of these photos. There's a watermark. So even though some of these images can be seen in different reels and stuff on YouTube, I think they could very well be hit with a copyright strike in the next 24 to 48 hours. I think Warner Brothers might just be letting this spread around a bit to build up hype and then hit them with some copyright strikes. But we are going to talk about all the images. If you want to see them, hit the link in the description and you can check them out with me. We're going to go one by one in the order that they are uploaded in the link, starting with our look at Tiamat. Now, this is a very different looking Tiamat than what we saw in the Godzilla comic book where Godzilla and Tiamat actually fight. Tiamat's color scheme looks to be a little different. We can't really see her clearly, but we don't even know if this is the same Tiamat or if this is a different version of the same species of Titan. Very similar to the Muto, this could actually be a male Tiamat, but this could also very well be the same version that we saw in the Godzilla comic. Now, we know in that Godzilla comic that Tiamat was not killed, but she was definitely defeated by Godzilla, and we can see in this image that she kind of has a pink glow to her. This is definitely going to be where Godzilla gets his power up from, and I think this time Godzilla is definitely going to kill Tiamat. This is stuff that we've already heard about in the leaks for Godzilla x Kong the New Empire. This just kind of validate all of the leaks that have come out. So really cool, and really this is going to be one of the most insane Godzilla movies ever of all time, with some really crazy CGI and some really crazy monster fights. It seems like it's going to be non-stop monster action. The second image we have here is of Godzilla and Shimo facing off. This image is so badass because you can see just how massive Shimo here is, and Godzilla seems to have a really hard time holding her off. She is absolutely massive. I think it's going to be really cool to see her and Godzilla fight, and I think we're going to find out that this is the same species of creature. Even their scales and everything look really similar here. So this is a really good image. It really shows the size and scale and scope of Shimo, and it's really showing the scope of the pace of the fights. You can just see from this shot that this is a really fast-paced fight. This is going to be really similar to the ending to Godzilla vs. Kong in the fight that went on in that movie with Godzilla, Kong, and Mechagodzilla at the end of the movie. This is going to be very similar here. You can tell that just from this image. And we come up on the next image, which is definitely the final fight when Godzilla and Kong are charging at Shimo, Scar King, and the ape army. I'm thinking that Suko and Mothra are somewhere in here, probably just either in a wider version of this shot or not in this shot at all, probably in a different shot that we're going to see. But yeah, just kind of really emphasizes here the size of Shimo and how similar to Godzilla she actually looks. And you can see Scar King here is very, very lanky in comparison to Kong. I mean, Kong is a thick old boy. You can just see it from this image right here, you know. I think we're definitely going to be seeing them Kong lightning powers as well, but this is just kind of a reinforcement of the leaks that we have already seen and hit the internet and that I have been talking about on this channel for months and months. The next image is one of my favorite images. It is so good. It is Shimo in chains, probably being held up by Scar King. I'm guessing this is when Kong is first introduced to Scar King when he comes through the pit of lava. In fact, I think you can see some lava there to the left of the image, and you can just see the massive scope of Shimo and how cool the CGI is going to be in this movie, guys. This is going to be absolutely insane. The next image that we have here is Godzilla, Kong, and Mothra. Now this is very much giving me the Spider-Man No Way Home vibes, where in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, they cut out both Tobey and Andrew, but they ended up in the final shot of the movie. But yeah, in this image, we can see the final version of a shot that was actually released in Empire magazine, where we see Godzilla, Kong, and actually Mothra, who was edited out in the original photo, floating there in the center of the picture. Like I said, guys, hit the description down below so you can follow along with me. Go through that photo album. You can see all 11 images there. It's really, really cool. It's some really good stuff. This brings us to some of the crazier stuff. Now, I think this might be the end of the movie, but it looks like Godzilla does this absolutely insane swan dive off of a cliff here. And this looks like this might be the final shot of Godzilla x Kong the New Empire, but Godzilla, yeah, is doing a straight up swan dive into the water, where Godzilla leaps into the air and dives into the water. So they are taking Godzilla to a whole nother level. I mean, he is a straight up professional diver at this point. That's yeah, I can definitely see that being really controversial for a lot of MonsterVerse fans. I already know how people are going to react to this. I can already see the comments online. I can already see the purists kind of going off about how Godzilla should not be doing anything this ridiculous. But I think it's very much in line with everything that we've seen from Godzilla in the past, especially the Showa era movies where Godzilla was riding on his tail and flying through the air, and crazy stuff like that. Now, another shot we see here is of Godzilla evolved. He is clearly about to break the crystal that Scar King has on the end of his whip. This looks to be the climax of the movie. This is stuff I already talked about on my channel. If you've been following my channel, then you already know what's going to happen here, which is that Godzilla is going to break that whip, and he is going to break Shimo of the mind control from Scar King. It's a cool image, but it's not really telling us something that we don't really already know. It's not really giving us any new information or any new looks at stuff that we haven't already seen in the trailers. Nevertheless, cool image of Godzilla, really showing off his pink glow there in his badass evolved form. Next thing we have here is an image of Mothra. Here we can see her color scheme, and I'm not sure if this is actually Fire Mothra, because it looks like she still has her blue bioluminescent powers. Doesn't really look like she has the red flaming powers that Fire Mothra usually has, but the color scheme very much resembles Fire Mothra. I think this is going to be so amazing to finally see her back in this movie. We have another shot of Mothra here where you can see this is a very fluffy Mothra, a much cuter Mothra than what we saw in Godzilla King of the Monsters, and I really like those kind of blue and purple eyes that she also has going on. Overall, the slight modernization and redesign of Mothra in the MonsterVerse has been nothing short of amazing. I know that Toho is probably very proud of Legendary with the work that they have done with Mothra and honoring her legacy. And that is pretty much it. The final shot we have here is actually of Scylla, the spider titan that we know is going to be fighting Godzilla in the beginning of the movie in Rome. This looks to be kind of like a shot that we already saw in the trailer, but just kind of a close-up shot of Scylla's body. Not really much to say there. It's a crustacean spider-like titan that Godzilla is going to defeat or kill in the beginning of the movie and then sleep in the Colosseum in Rome. So let me know what you guys thought about my breakdown. All 11 of these leaked images from Godzilla x Kong the New Empire. I think it's absolutely insane. This is one of the best times to be a Godzilla fan in all of history of Godzilla, to be honest. I think that the MonsterVerse has a lot more exciting stuff in store. I have a lot more exciting stuff to talk about on this channel. How the MonsterVerse sets up Space Godzilla, how the MonsterVerse sets up Destroya, and a lot more other stuff to come. So if you guys enjoy my MonsterVerse content, consider subscribing. And for this video, guys, that's all I got. So until the next one, be safe and stay well. Bye-bye.